What's up, YouTube? Gonna have a little discussion today. Today, I wanted to talk about what skills are necessary to be able to review yo-yos effectively. Alright, so this topic and this video stems from a post that was on the Yo-Yo Buy-Sell Trade on Facebook, posted by Mr. Josh Yee, who is current National 5A champion. So Josh Yee, very good yo-yo player, and just want to lay this out there that I have no ill will feeling toward Josh about his opinion on this. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, including Josh, and I think he's totally fine, and I appreciate him bringing up discussion and a discussion-worthy topic, because it is really hard to come up with daily topics about yo-yo stuff. So thank you, Josh. You're awesome, and I appreciate you coming up with this topic, because now I have something to talk about because I have opinions on it, and that's what we do here, because this is my channel. Anyway, so who reviews yo-yos? What kind of skills do you need? The basis of the post that was made is that Josh felt that yo-yo reviewers really need to have a very high level of skill, horizontal play, and just to really be able to really dig deep into the very minute nuances of yo-yos, how they handle speed combos, how they handle horizontal, and also be able to show that in a very effective, highly skilled manner. I sort of don't agree, and I feel like there was a little bit of back and forth. Some people agree, some people don't agree. I was very civil. It doesn't bother me. I'm not hurt at all. I don't feel targeted necessarily, but I don't agree with Josh on that, and that's fine. We're allowed to not agree, but I wanted to talk about what I think. So let's talk about why I do it. Why do I review yo-yos? For me personally, when I got back into yo-yo now about 2 years ago, when I went to look and see about what yo-yos I would want to buy, and because I couldn't really try them before I bought them, at least not all of them. SW Randall has some, and they had some at the time, and I was able to try those and decide what I liked from their stock. There was all this other stuff. So I did what I do for anything when I'm trying to decide what to get, is I go to YouTube. Hi YouTube, I'm here. So I went to YouTube and I looked around. I was particularly interested in like one-drop stuff. And there were a few reviews here and there, and I watched those, but they were sort of spotty, and those guys didn't really have a big backlog of stuff that they had reviewed. What I was looking for was sort of a channel very much like Ryan Bruce's channel, like Fluff, where he would review things, or demo. He demoed them. He didn't review them. He demoed them, because his opinion didn't matter unless it was garbage, unless the piece of equipment was garbage. But he would demo things and show you how they worked, what they sounded like, as far as guitars were concerned. And I always really liked Ryan Bruce's approach, because he would just give you sort of a basic track of him playing the guitar and running through all the features and giving you all the sounds, or, you know, the main sound, the clean tone, or metal tone, maybe a little lead in there, but it was nothing mind-blowing. He didn't, like, blow everybody out of the water with, like, just incredible, amazing playing. Now, he's a great riff writer. He writes great riffs, but none of it was really just mind-blowing. It was really just to kind of give you a baseline, like, here's what riffs sound like, here's what leads sound like, here's what cleans sound like. And I was looking for that in a yo-yo context, so that I could sort of get a baseline of, well, here's what this yo-yo is good for, here's what it does, here's what I like it for. And Dylan was kind of doing that a little bit with the Magic Yo-Yo stuff, which I had a good bit of, and I picked up a lot of that because of Dylan's reviews. And I went through and tried those out, but at some point I just kind of wanted more premium yo-yos at the time. They were the budget Magic Yo-Yos. I realize Magic Yo-Yo has more premium yo-yos, and I'm not knocking Magic Yo-Yo, but I wanted some more premium yo-yos, some one-drops, maybe some more Yo-Yo Factories, and Dylan had done some Yo-Yo Factories, which were good. I picked up a few of those, and you know, just some other stuff. And then there were all these boutique companies that I started finding out about. I shortly after that met Jacob Gross at the PA State contest that year, which was in Erie. It was great to hang out with Jake that day. That was just before G Squared like blew up, and I like just walked up to Jake and bought a yo-yo, and I stood there and talked to him for the whole time. So sorry, Jake, it's your fault. Nobody was doing the reviews, and I thought, well, I'll do it. I'll be able to kind of keep my progress as well too. So I just started doing it, and you know, my first couple videos are real bad. If you go back and watch them, the only one that's really any good is the Loop 720 video, and that was because I knew how those yo-yos worked because I'd played with those types of yo-yos for 20 years. That's really, like, that video was good enough anyway, and it's got a decent amount of views. But the rest of them, like, they were real bad, and I even went back and redid some of them because they were just that bad. But that's why I do it. That's why I review. And you guys liked it, and it seemed to catch on. And now other guys do it too, and I really appreciate those guys too. I appreciate Nate. I appreciate T from Tokyo, Lorenzo. Brandon Vu was doing them, but Brandon's are sort of spotty and all over the place, and you know. And I appreciate those guys, and I watch those religiously. I really do. But getting back to the original question is, do yo-yo reviewers need to have like a super high level skill set, like a big, like 10+ year yo-yo career, and have won some contests and have a good speed combo and have a horizontal combo and just have a really big trick set before they can review yo-yos? Personally, I think that that can actually be a hindrance as opposed to helpfulness, because the tricks should really just be a baseline, just kind of like Ryan Bruce's riffs in the Riffs, Beards, and Gear stuff. Should really just be a baseline. Just because I can do horizontal with it or finger spins or whatever doesn't mean that the Joe Schmo everyman can do that. Additionally, I like to focus my channel on a lot of collecting stuff, and a lot of collecting has to do with value and with color and with just shape and size and things like that. So for me, it's really not just about the tricks, and I've talked about this before, is that my channel, while it is yo-yo related, isn't really necessarily about the tricks. It's more about collecting and reviewing and talking. It's about all that other stuff. My buddies who are over on the Scales podcast, who do the Scales Collective, those guys are really the trick guys, and they are really the experts on that stuff. But they'll be the first to admit to you that they've been sponsored for a long time because they're really good, and they've generally just played whatever either their signature yo-yos were or whatever their sponsors were giving them at the time. So their knowledge of like yo-yo and yo-yo collection, not necessarily the greatest. Now, that's not the case with all professional players. My buddy Kai Zizin has a huge collection. I need to get over there. We need to do Kai's collection video, because Kai's collection's like 400 yo-yos, and it spans like 15 years of like unresponsive play, so it's a really awesome collection, and we need to do a video on it because it's really good. Pros, a lot of times, which was sort of Josh's thing, don't or can't or won't always be the best at making a yo-yo review, because that takes something else as well. So the everyman collector aspect of it is kind of what I try to bring to it. It's like, well, if you're a professional, you probably don't care what I have to say about a yo-yo unless it's your signature yo-yo, and maybe that's just because you want me to like it, because if I like it, other people might like it and they might buy it. But it probably doesn't matter to you if I review a yo-yo that's not your signature yo-yo if you're a professional player who does that kind of stuff, because you don't care what my opinion on a yo-yo is, because you wouldn't take my opinion towards buying a yo-yo. It's the everyman guy who's the collector that looks to my reviews to decide whether or not they're going to buy those yo-yos. Every yo-yo is a little bit different, but if you show just the baseline of what it can do, I feel like the nuance sort of shows, at least from that baseline. That, and you know, as far like I was getting into with the guys like the Scales Collective or whatever, it is hard to do a good yo-yo review. It takes time, it takes practice. I did a lot of bad yo-yo reviews before I kind of got a good formula down, before I got good enough at certain tricks, before I really was just able to throw and talk on camera. So there's really a big step between, can you yo-yo well? Yeah, that's fine. But can you yo-yo well while describing the nuances of the yo-yo, while describing the yo-yo, keeping that video interesting, and also be able to show the tricks, the baseline of tricks that people want to see, and be able to talk while you do that. That's very important. I can't tell you how important that is. To be able to talk and play yo-yo at the same time is kind of a skill in and of itself. And I'm sure there's tons of people that can do it. We do it all day at Yo-Yo Club, so it's not that difficult. But to be able to do it on camera, one take, or, you know, just be able to do it in a manner well enough so that you can then edit that later is kind of a task all in itself and a skill all in itself. It's difficult to do a good yo-yo review, and some of mine suck, and some of mine I think are really great, and I think I do a really good job, pat myself on the back, of putting the reviews together and getting deep down in the nitty-gritty, showing every aspect of the yo-yo, showing what I like about it, what I feel, and I feel like I've gotten better at that. And I don't do horizontal combos, and I don't have a speed combo. I can play a little faster than I used to be able to, but, you know, I don't do that type of stuff. I just like to play with it. I'm your everyman, but I'm the general population. I've met tons of collectors. We are the same. I just make videos on YouTube. But I feel like there's a base of tricks that you do need to have. So Josh is right in that regard, but I don't feel like it's the, like, super high-end competition stuff. I feel like you need to be able to do a grind combo. You need to be able to do finger spins consistently. You need to be able to show smoothness. You need to be able to kind of pull off a little tech trick. You need to kind of be able to do skin the gerbil quickly. You know, just to show what the yo-yo does in sort of a speed situation. If I'm doing spin the gerbil quickly and the yo-yo kind of blows off plane, I can then be like, yeah, it's kind of tough to keep on playing. It's not that stable. Doesn't handle speed as well as, say, something else. There's some yo-yos that just blow through it, and you see the difference if you watch my reviews. Me doing it on a very competition spec yo-yo versus maybe just a organic, floaty, non-rim weighted yo-yo or something. So, you know, there really is a difference there. And you can see it in just what the simple things that I'm doing. You don't need to be that mind-blowing level. Now, that being said, I love the guys who are at that level. Lorenzo Cubing, he does that type of stuff. I think Lorenzo's unboxings, 90% of the time anyway, are really great because he just kind of puts them through their paces on camera, and he's really good at it, and he'll give you just his off the top of his head thoughts on it. And honestly, 90% of the time, I think he's like doing an awesome job on it. The only thing I think I disagreed with him on was when he did his review of the Dang 2. I didn't really agree with his sort of thoughts on that as he opened it, because I thought it was great and it was fun, but he was like, this is a good beginner yo-yo. But that's really, like, other than that, I really agreed with him on most everything else, and I like what he does. He's fun to watch. Same thing with like Brandon Vu. Brandon Vu doesn't do as many yo-yo reviews now as he used to, now that he sort of owns a yo-yo company, but when he still does them, I like them, I watch them, I think his insights are good. I think Dylan's really good. Dylan's clearly better than me, but he's still sort of the everyman. He's just the better yo-yo player everyman. But he's a state champ and stuff, so, you know, Dylan's really good, and I like when he does yo-yo stuff. I think he's probably gonna have a yo-yo video up here soon. He and I have been texting. We're gonna hang out at Nationals. I'm excited about it. It's gonna be fun. It's really important to be able to also put together a good video and be concise, whether you're writing it up or editing a video or whatever, and you have to be able to do that as well. Some of the best yo-yo players make really bad review videos. I've seen some, and God bless them, they try. It takes practice. That takes practice as well. Just like the yo-yo tricks take practice, it takes practice to be able to make a good video that people want to watch, that people want to listen to. Sometimes it just drags on, and it's monotone, and it's not interesting. And it's just a good yo-yo, because it's good for tricks. And it's not fun, and you gotta kind of be a character. So, there's two aspects of it. Do you have to be able to play yo-yo decently well? Yeah, I'd say so, but I think I'm across that threshold, and I think most of the guys who review yo-yos are good enough. You know what I mean? Good enough to sell to the everyman, and to do it for the everyman. I forgot Nate. Nate is like my brethren in this. Nate does an awesome job. I feel like between Nate, T, and I, we kind of cover just about every yo-yo that ever comes out. But Nate is great too, and I feel like, you know, now there's like this little circle of reviewers, and it's really good because it kind of gives that like baseline, the meaty medium of what the yo-yo community is. It gives them the ability to kind of look up a review on a yo-yo eventually after it comes out and formulate their own opinion based on the very baseline that they're getting from either me or Nate or T or whomever, and then make an informed decision to make that purchase. Are we going to knock it out of the park 100% of the time? And are you going to agree with us 100% of the time on whether or not the yo-yo is any good? No. That was never going to happen. But more often than not, I feel like we do a pretty good job. And I pretty often get told that our recommendations are good, and oftentimes we hit the nail on the head, even from pro players. That's the other thing, too, that I have that I just want to add in as a side. I actually get second opinions from pro players. So, like, when I do a review, especially a big one, if it's like an important new yo-yo, usually I'll take it to Yo-Yo Club. I'll have Brandon Pilardi play it. I'll have Kai Zizin play it. I'll have John Wolf play it if he's there. And I'll have them give me their thoughts just off the top of their head. Now, I don't let them spend time with it, like a ton of time, like days. But I have them all give me their thoughts off the top of their head about the yo-yo as well. So you kind of get a little bit of pro sprinkled in on my channel as well, because those guys are all really good. They're all sponsored players, and I do see them regularly and pretty often. So, and John Wolf's national champion. I've taken a lot of good advice from John and from Kai in my yo-yo reviews. So, you know, I do have a little bit of help, is what I'm getting at, just through my own Pittsburgh community, which is fun. So those are my thoughts on it. What do you guys think? Do you wish, you know, I was like some sort of a national champ or a state champ or something, had some more horizontal combos and stuff? I'm working on it. I really am working on horizontal. I haven't beat up my face yet, but I'm just not going to do it on camera. I will do better tricks, I promise. I'm getting better. I'm getting there. There's progress. I got little kids running around. Can't always just play yo-yo and learn new tricks. I wish. If I was in college, if I was 10 years younger, 15 years younger, oh my god, 15 years younger, I would be tearing it up right now, but I'm not. I'm an old man. Just old. That's going to do it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and check out the Throws and Brews store. The link is in the description. Cheers to you. I'll see you next time.